Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of All Scoring No Defense, the best sports channel or the best sports podcast, whichever one you want to call it at this point. And on this episode, I'm going to talk about how the Boston Red Sox defeated the New York Yankees. Let's get into it. Okay, if you watched like I did last night, you saw the Boston Red Sox defeat the New York Yankees of a score of 6-2. Now, if you're a Boston Red Sox fan, you have to love what you saw from your team. Why is that? Your pitchers played amazing. Your starting pitchers did great. You guys had over 10 strikeouts in this game. And you guys had a lot of success striking out a team who does really good at hitting home runs. What do I mean by this? The Yankees' hitting power, or their starting lineup's hitting power, is great. But the back end of the dugout, or the back end of the Yankees starting lineup, they didn't really get much production out of them yesterday. And I think that's why Boston was able to capitalize most off of this. They were able to capitalize a lot off of this. And their starting pitchers for the Boston Red Sox played extremely well. Their starting pitchers had that slider along with that fastball working extremely well. Extremely great, as a matter of fact. And when you have that type of production from your pitching crew, that makes the game so much easier. Also, I feel as though the Yankees kind of got away from their game plan. What do I mean by that? Heading into this game, the Yankees were not the type of team, or their batting specialists were not the type of players, or as I mentioned earlier, they're not the type of team who they swing at everything. They don't swing at everything. And last night when you saw them play, they kind of swung at everything. And you kind of saw them get off to a bad start. And in baseball, especially that type of magnitude of a game, you don't want to get off in a bad start, because whoever won that game or whoever was the winner of that game, they'll be heading off to the playoffs, where the other team will be at home. And we saw that the Boston Red Sox were able to capitalize off of this. Also, the Boston Red Sox, when they get hot, man, are they an extremely talented team. And it's going to be very interesting to see, or I'm very interested to see how this team performs in the playoffs, because we all know in the MLB, anything can happen in the playoffs. And the playoffs, like any other sport, this is where legends are made. So we'll just have to wait and see how this all plays out, because that's all for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I do new episodes like this Monday through Friday. And with that being said, I'm out.